Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of the Tigers Baseball Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Schulte. This episode being recorded on Tuesday morning, September 12th, 2023. Would have done it yesterday, but my wife is in the States doing some things, taking care of some business, and I am home alone with the three kids, and the 4-year-old decided that staying up way past her bedtime was a good idea. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into some things. Injury report real quick. Mason Englert has been reevaluated. We will see where things stand after he got reevaluated over the weekend. No update on that. Casey Mize has resumed a throwing program. My suspicion is that he's doing bullpen sessions and he will do live BPs, but he's not going to get on a rehab assignment before the end of the year. Riley Greene will be evaluated today. He's probably done that already if he's not doing that right now because it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning here. So that's a thing at the time of this recording. And with that, there's really not much more going on. So we're going to just go ahead and leave it at that. And, speaking of Riley Greene, I kind of wonder if it's too early to break out the Mike Trout comparison, not because of his abilities. Riley Greene is not Mike Trout when it comes to hitting a baseball, when it comes to playing defense, when it comes to running the bases. He's not that talented. He's talented, don't get me wrong. He's a top level talent, but Mike Trout in his heyday was a generational talent. That is not Riley Greene. But what I'm wondering is if it's too early to start comparing Riley Greene to Mike Trout and Aaron Judge and a number of other players. Ken Griffey Jr. comes to mind from an injury standpoint. Riley Greene's been on the injured list twice this year. Riley Greene started the season last year on the injured list. So it's kind of one of those questions of does at some point are we comparing him to these great players whose careers would have been a lot better, Mike Trout especially, would have been a lot better had they been able to stay healthy. We saw what Aaron Judge could do when he stayed healthy. He hit over 60 homers last year. He was on pace to do that again this year, and then he hurt his back, or he hurt his ankle or his leg. I think it was his calf. So, Mike Trout hasn't been in the Angels lineup all year because of an injury. The last time we saw Mike Trout playing any kind of competitive baseball, he was striking out against Shohei Ohtani in the finals of the World Baseball Classic and basically choking for Team USA. So, how much from an injury standpoint should we start comparing Riley Greene to these other really talented, uber talented players and sit there and go, yeah, you know what? He's got the ability. He just has to stay healthy. Because I've noticed when he went down at the end of May, Detroit's offense just absolutely fell apart. Not that it was that good to begin with, but it got far worse without him in the lineup. And you look at what they've done since he went on the injured list on the 1st of September. 4 runs. That was the game that he got hurt in. 10 runs, 3 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, 10 runs. No runs. 3 runs. I think their highest output, aside from the 2 10-run games, was let's see, they beat Chicago 3-1 on Sunday, and I believe they beat them 3-2. Yeah, they beat them 3-2 on Friday. So you score 10, you score 13 against Chicago in the 2 games that he's gone in Chicago. You score 14 against the Yankees in 3 games, and you score 6 against the White Sox over the weekend. 33 runs in 9 games. Sorry, in 8 games. That's not good. Your offense just isn't that good, and you can't have one of your key pieces getting hurt. Now, Riley Greene was slumping, but he was coming out of that slump. So he can carry a team. He has carried this team. He is the heart and soul of the Detroit Tigers. Spencer Torkelson, because of all the home runs, and he's got 27 of them, might be the face of this team because Chicks did dig the long ball. Maybe it'll be Parker Meadows in a few years. Or Justin Henry Malloy, or Colt Keith, or Jace Young, or possibly even Max Clark. But right now, Spencer Torkelson is the face of this team, but the engine of this team, the thing that the person that makes this team go is Riley Greene. And so I'm starting to wonder if it's too early to put him on the list of good player, does a lot for a team, brings a lot for a team, but he gets hurt too much. Now, it's hard to look. It's tough to deal with people like that because you want a guy that's going to give you a hard 90 in every at bat. You want a guy that's going to give you max energy and max effort when he's on defense. Riley Greene hurt himself diving for a ball and made the catch, but he came down awkwardly on his elbow. So it's not like he's opening a can of salsa and cutting his finger open, Spencer Torkelson. But at the end of the day, where does he find the balance between playing hard and giving max effort and preserving your body? Because if he's the engine that makes this team go and he gets hurt, the team doesn't go anymore. So that's my big question today is where does, how do we quantify what he is to this team? Or is it even too early to quantify that? Another injury update. Matt Manning got hit in the foot with a line drive off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton last week. His season is done. The ball had an exit velocity of 119.5 miles an hour. So Matt Manning is again on the shelf and done for the year. Again, this is his 4th stint. Remember, in 2020, he was alt-sighted and had to be shut down because of forearm soreness. We didn't get a complete season of Matt Manning in 2021 because I think he got hurt as well late in the year. Last year, of course, he had the shoulder injury, and this year, of course, he had the foot injury twice now. So Matt Manning, when he's on, is a capable third or fourth starter, but again, you got to keep him healthy. Congratulations to Sawyer Gipson-Long, made his major league debut on Sunday. 3 1/3 perfect innings before Kerry Carpenter made an error in the outfield. They gave Andrew Benintendi a triple for that, but in all honesty, it's a I would have given him a single and a 2-base error. Because Kerry Carpenter should not have slid to catch that baseball. He should have let the baseball drop in front of him and caught it on the hop and held Benintendi to a single. Give them what they earn, Kerry. Old Sparky Anderson adage, but it still plays true today. Give them what they earned. But he misplays the baseball and it turns into a runner on third and 1 out. And Sawyer Gipson-Long has to pitch out of that. Did pretty well. And look, Matt Manning is out, so Gipson-Long is in the rotation for the foreseeable future. He's a decent fifth. You know what? We traded Michael Fulmer to Minnesota as a rental, and we got ourselves a solid fifth starter. In all honesty, I could see a rotation of Tarek Skubal at the top, Casey Mize, Matt Manning. Sorry, Tarek Skubal at the top, Casey Mize, Reese Olson, Matt Manning, and Sawyer Gipson-Long. And I think that's a good solid 5-man rotation. I think that's a rotation you can take into a series and win with, provided your offense does what it's supposed to do, provided Matt Manning can stay healthy. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can. You can email the show, tigersbaseballpodcast@gmail.com. It's the world's longest email address. I'm proud of that. You can get a hold of us on Twitter @Podcast Tigers. I'm on Mastodon, TB Podcast, @tweescake.social. Tweescake is TWEESE cake. I want to thank Anchor for distributing the podcast. Check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@TB Podcast. If you're not catching us there already, you should be. With that, I'm going to get out of here and take care of business. I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will see you next week. Detroit heads to LA after 3 with the Reds this week. And we will talk some more baseball next week. Coming down to the very end. Final podcast will be on October 2nd, barring any kind of trades or anything in the offseason. We'll talk about that as well when that happens. Thanks for listening, everybody, and go Tigers.